Hey guys, what's going on? Sherman here. I have another piece of gear to review for you guys today. This is actually going to be my first multi-tool review. One of my subscribers mentioned in my last video, my Gerber GDC zip blade review, that I should try out the Gerber dime. And that was his favorite Gerber product. Well, I actually already have it, as you can see right here. I've had it for about 2 years now, and I've carried it on my keys every single day since I got it. And it is just a fantastic little multi-tool. But I realized that I've never done a review on it, so here you go. Wanted to kind of give you a size comparison right up front, right here, with the my other two favorite multi-tools, the Leatherman Wave and the Leatherman Juice S2. Now, I will never leave home without my Leatherman Wave. This is the best, by far, the best multi-tool that I've ever owned in this size range, or category of full-size multi-tool. This is a full-size multi-tool. There's just no end to the things that this multi-tool will do and has done for me in the past. You know, like I said, this is my constant companion. This goes with me every day in my EDC pack. I will never leave home without that multi-tool. But sometimes I want to carry something on me. I don't usually carry this. I have not carried this in a long time on my belt because it's just pretty heavy, and I'm not into belt systems. That's just not me. I'm not saying that'll never be me, but it's not me right now. So sometimes I want to carry something on me, and that's when I'll turn to something like a mid-size multi-tool like the Leatherman Juice S2. Or any Juice model, but this is just the one that I own and the one that I like the best. Great multi-tool. It has a lot of really great tools and features, great build quality, everything you can expect from Leatherman. But you know, it's still fairly chunky. It's kind of has some weight to it. It's a little bit too much weight for me to just drop down into my pocket. Without a pocket clip, it'd be a little bit better. But I have not carried this on my person in a while. Like I said, it's still kind of chunky, but you know, that's for when you don't want to carry a full-size multi-tool. What if you want to carry even lighter than that? Well, then you enter the micro multi-tool range. And that's what this is. And this is the best micro multi-tool that I've ever owned. Now, I've never owned, but I've handled a few of the Leatherman offerings, and they just don't offer enough for me for this size. Now, they're a little bit too minimalistic, but this thing is very well designed. All the tools are well thought out and well executed. I'm very impressed with this little multi-tool by Gerber. Real quick, I get some of the technical specs out of the way. Closed length is 2 3/4 inches, and overall length opened is 4 1/4 inches. So very small. You can see in my hand there. And the steel that they use is 3CR13. That's in the MOV stainless steel family. Just like I was talking about the Gerber Zip Blade, which actually the Zip Blade has a slightly upgraded steel than this. 3CR13 is a little bit softer than 8CR13, but I mean, you're not going to notice too much of a difference. It's a pretty good steel, and at least Gerber is specifying what steel it is, so I can't complain. Let's give you an overall look. This has been very well worn. You can see it's almost looks stone washed, but it's the same Gerber gunmetal gray and anodized green. You have aluminum scales here. You got the same color combination, you know, going on the zip. It looks good. I like the gunmetal and lime green. They also offer this in an all black color, which also looks good, but this is actually sent to me by a viewer, and they know how much I like lime green, so that was cool. All the tools are accessible from the outside, which I highly prefer. Just like all the good multi-tools, like all my Leathermans I have, they do it. So let me just give you a rundown of the tools that this offers. Right off the bat, you're going to see this weird little contraption. This is a bottle opener, and don't underestimate this thing. I don't open many bottles because I don't drink. Mostly people open up beers with these, or they open up soda bottles. I don't drink a lot of soda either, so I don't really have a use for bottle openers. But this, for the few times that I have had to open bottles, this works very well. But if you don't use it for that, like, you know, I don't a lot, I will sometimes attach a carabiner to that, and that's what I carry it for my keys with. But you do have a lanyard loop there. You can put a key ring through there, or an S-beaner, or a piece of paracord. Like I said, you can put a piece of paracord through that to carry it. So you have that. On this, the green side, this is kind of what helps me. The green side, which is my favorite color, has the blades. So first of all, you have this very interesting shaped knife here. Kind of has just a swoop to it. I don't even really know what you'd call this. A modified sheep's foot, because you have that sudden drop right there. But you have that little bit of belly there. It's just a really different, unique blade design. I actually really like it. I wouldn't mind having a full-size knife in that configuration. This is very sharp. You get a piece of paper here. Came very sharp. Been very impressed with the edge. So very capable little blade on this. And I forgot to get the blade length. Let me get my ruler quick. So unprepared. The blade length on the knife is 1.5 inches. With a cutting edge slightly shorter than that, but it's pretty much using all of it. It's a 1.5 inch blade. It has a nail nick. They're all slip joints. They don't have any kind of locking mechanism, but they have a very strong detent on there. And then this side has what they're calling a package opener. And I think that is a really cool idea. So it is just a single chisel ground edge. Kind of has that funny downward shape. So really what this is for is just for cutting down into the tape of boxes. And it's just long enough to cut through the tape, but not so long that it's going to cut into the package, possibly damaging the contents. Also, constantly cutting tape and cutting through cardboard is going to gum up your knife edge, and it's just going to be kind of a beast to clean off. You have to usually get some like Zippo lighter fluid or alcohol to clean it off. But you don't have that on a regular day-to-day basis. So you have to wait till you get home, clean it off, and whatnot. So this keeps your main edge, your main knife blade preserved, keeps it sharp and gunk free. So for when you really need your knife blade, it's there. Because most of the time when people carry something like this or carry a knife, most of the time people are going to just be cutting open packages with them. So this, if you have a dedicated package opening blade like this one, which I've used quite often, like I said, it keeps your main blade preserved and razor sharp for when you really need to use your blade for other things. So very well thought out on that. I really, really like that package opener. Like I said, I've used that a lot. It's very easy to touch up and resharpen because it's a chisel ground edge. On the gray side here, the opposite side, you have a flathead screwdriver. Pretty wide. I've used this. It kind of has some little sharp edges right there. So I've actually used this as a scraper before, to get stickers off of surfaces or just different stuff like that. Scrape into some wood. But you can use it as a pry bar, which I've used to pry staples out of wood before with it. It works really, really well. The opposite side of that, you have a small precision flathead. You can also use this for Phillips head. Kind of a precise head on that. You can almost adjust. I'm trying to remember. I think I've tried to adjust glass. I think I have actually adjusted glasses screws with that before. But on the opposite side, on the sides of it, there are small files, but you can't really get to them because of the loops right there and the bottle openers right there. So what I recommend is just kind of opening it halfway if you want to get that to maybe trim your fingernails down or use the file. I really wish this had a half stop. Like a lot of these tools, sometimes they'll have like a half stop and then a full lock open. A lot of Swiss Army knives have that feature. But no biggie. Just something I thought I'd bring up. And you have a pair of scissors. One of my most used tool on a multi-tool is a pair of scissors. And these are a really good pair. The part that you put your thumb on to make the scissor action happen is big and it does not hurt your thumb. Like a lot of these small tools, like a SOG multi-tool I had before, it was a very thin piece of metal and you'd use it and you would hurt your thumb when you were cutting through material. So very nice size pair of scissors. To kind of just compare real quick, show you the scissors on the Wave. Almost the same size. And that's a full-size multi-tool. Actually, the scissors are smaller on the Wave, I think. But I much prefer these. These are some of the best scissors I've ever had, especially for a multi-tool. But I digress. But they're a nice pair of scissors. They do not cut through things like paracord. They kind of flex outward too much for that. You see it does have a little bit of flex to it, but it's a keychain multi-tool. But it will cut things like paper very well. It is very sharp. So it cuts through things like paper very well. But I just wanted to mention it doesn't cut things like paracord. But it will cut open string, and it'll cut through paper, and things you'd normally use scissors for. But it is a pretty good pair of scissors. And then you have, of course, the pliers. Now, as you can see, the pliers are spring-loaded. Let me move my tripod up a little bit. I'm having a hard time seeing what's going on. So they open up very wide, which I kind of like, but kind of don't, because you see they kind of slip, because you try to get this part into the palm of your hand, you know, to use the pliers. But sometimes they open so wide and the spring tension is so tough, they kind of slip down into your hand when you're trying to use them. I don't know if anybody else has that problem. I have before, but you know, you just gotta work around it, use your own little techniques. If you do like this, it's okay. But there are definitely times where I wished I had a good pair of spring-loaded pliers. So these definitely do come in handy. I really do like spring-loaded pliers for most jobs. So that's cool. Get a good look. You have the serrated edges there, so you can really get down on what you're trying to tweeze, basically. Now these parts up here that are flat, I wish they were serrated also, because that's where you're going to be doing your intricate work and what you're going to really be grabbing at. So when you're trying to grab something, like when I've been doing paracord projects, you know, I like to grab the end of the paracord and pull to really finish off my knots, make sure they're really tight. And this doesn't do that, it just slips off because those are flat and they're not serrated. So it makes it difficult. But anyway, you do have a pair of wire cutters down here that do work pretty well. They're not going to cut that real thick gauge wire, but you know, they do work pretty well. So it's just very, very nice little multi-tool. Good pair of pliers. And it is a very, very strong detent when these things come out. And it does not, like a lot of these tools, sometimes they'll open up halfway when you're carrying them in your pocket or on your keys. This doesn't. It's a very, very strong lockback detent on these to open them up. As you can see there. Just very impressive. One last thing that I have to mention, that is something that comes with most Swiss Army knives that I wish more multi-tools would incorporate, because I find myself needing this particular tool quite often. And I'll give you guys one guess before I show you. Alright, up here, that little silver nub right there, going under the green scale. A pair of tweezers. Yeah, a pair of tweezers. Not a great pair of tweezers, mind you, but it is a pair of tweezers, and I find myself needing tweezers quite often throughout the day. I get splinters a lot. You know, you need to do something detailed. You know, you have a piece of skin that's really into your finger and you need to rip it out, whatever. I don't know. But I find myself needing tweezers for quite a few tasks. And they come on Swiss Army knives, and I've always used them in the past, that and the toothpick. And they just don't come on multi-tools for whatever reason. They never caught on. Something I wish Leatherman would do. But this has a pair of tweezers. I love that feature. Maybe that's silly of me. I don't know. But like I said, I use the tweezers quite often. So very cool of Gerber. So this has a lot of really nice tools, all of which I use. There's not a single tool on this multi-tool that is just pretty much disposable for me, like a lot of multi-tools. Yeah, like a lot of multi-tools, they have the different size. They have like 3 or 4 different size flathead drivers. I only use one of them most of the time. You know, a lot of Swiss Army knives, they have a lot of useless throwaway tools that just don't apply to me. The only one on this really is the bottle opener, but you know, it's done in a way that I can use it to attach cord to, so it almost acts as a little lanyard loop. So I'll forgive it. So anyway, guys. That is the Gerber dime. And by the way, I've never tried it, but you can take it apart, I'm assuming, with those Torx. You can see the Torx pivots. So you can probably take it apart. I've never tried. But these range anywhere from about $15 to $20, and it's completely worth it. Amazon has the black one. I just looked it up for about 18 something with Prime. This model in particular goes usually for about $15. The black one for some reason is usually a little bit more expensive. Don't know why, just because it's tactical, I guess. But anyway, guys, definitely check out this little multi-tool. It has made my days a little bit easier because, like I said, I carried on my keys and I don't always have time to run out to go get my main size multi-tool. So I'll go out and I'll just reach in my pocket and grab this. And you know, it can't do everything, no, but you'll be amazed at the things that it can do. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this review. Definitely go and check it out if you're looking for a good micro keychain multi-tool. This is one of the best on the market. Definitely one of the best that I've ever picked up. It is the best micro tool that I've ever picked up. But anyway, guys, hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay sharp, and God bless. Sherman614. Peace.